Good morning guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Closed Doors. And the snow is actually disappearing. Such a shame. I like snow, but this is just very slippery and very ugly. Don't like this at all. Today it's digital classroom day. Today's topic in digital classroom is actually gonna be create your own Christmas card. Look at this. Isn't that cool? And our model today is going to be Nadine, and we're going to explain everything about setting up, lighting, mixing light sources, and whatnot more. Okay, so today's digital classroom is all about shooting a Christmas tree. Yeah, not really, right? Because in digital classroom, I don't want to show you guys how I shoot my Christmas card. What I want to show you guys is actually how you mix light sources. So today, it's all about mixing light sources. Now, mixing light sources is not something we only do inside. You actually do it all the time because you have different color temperatures. For example, if you have something that's really reddish, that's a low color temperature. If you have something that's a little bit bluish, that's a high color temperature. And often you encounter situations where you have both. For example, outside, if you put a model in the shade and you have sunlight, how do you balance those? Well, you use a golden reflector. You ever wondered why there was a golden reflector? It's literally for those situations where you have a model in the shade and you have sunlight and you want to balance those two. You use a gold reflector, you lower the color temperature on your model down towards what the normal sunlight would do. So you get a nice balance. Now inside today with the Christmas tree, do we really want to change color temperature? That's something you have to ask yourself. Do you want a moody picture with nice glowing red colors, Christmas trees, and then the model with normal strobe, so looking normal? Or do you want, well, the Christmas tree to emit normal light and the model to be lit by normal light? This is something we call building a mood with lighting and color temperature. Now, if you would only follow the rule book, you would of course say, well, Frank, I'm gonna gel my strobes to mimic the reddish light of the Christmas trees. But in that case, you get a really boring shot. So today we're actually not gonna use any gels. We're actually gonna light the Christmas tree with a normal strobe, and then we're gonna let the Christmas tree lights come up. So how do you do something like that? There's a very simple rule for that, and that goes for everything, everywhere where you combine natural light or constant lighting with strobes. This simple rule works. So remember this one. Your strobe controls the aperture. Your shutter speed controls the constant lighting. So if you shoot something with your strobes on 5.6 and you have a Christmas tree next to it, you will probably run into problems because the Christmas tree doesn't emit a lot of light for 5.6. So you have to first realize, like, okay, how much is the output of the constant lighting? In most cases, that means that you try to raise the ISO up just a little bit and shoot on the lowest possible power setting on your strobes. Maybe even use some diffusion material to get that strobe down. Or maybe use the modeling lights of the strobe, because that's a constant light source, right? So, if you have set up your strobes, let's say for 2.8 ISO 200. Now you take the picture and, for example, your subject is perfectly lit, but the ambient light, well, it's not what you want. You want a little bit more of that ambient light. What do? Very simple. Don't change anything. Don't change ISO, because then your model will be overexposed because you're actually changing also the strobe output. Now, what you do, oh, and by the way, before you go, like, you don't change the strobe output. Yes, you do, because if you raise the ISO, your model was 2.8 on ISO, for example, 200. If you raise that to 400, your model now becomes f4. You don't really change the strobe output, but in the picture, it looks like you raised the strobe output. So that's what I meant with that. So let's say you have that model on 2.8 ISO 200 with the strobes, and you want more ambient light. So don't touch the aperture, don't touch the ISO. What you have to touch is actually the shutter speed, because the strobe is just a pulse. It doesn't really matter what shutter speed you use, unless you go over the X-sync, of course, but don't make it too technical for now. If you want more ambient light, just lower that shutter speed, because if you lower the shutter speed, the strobe will stay the same, but you get in more ambient light. So that Christmas tree or whatever subject you do will get more of that lighting in. So that's the very simple trick. And today we're going to show that during the live broadcast. So you have to set everything up, and then it's time for the broadcast. Oh, and by the way, we still don't have fiber, So yeah, we still have to do it with 4Gs, but they promised it before Christmas. Okay, here we have that Christmas tree. Now let's see what changes if you just raise the shutter speed, sorry, lower the shutter speed, or raise the shutter speed. As you can see, I control the ambient, but if I would now use strobes, the model would be exactly the same with lighting. So it's a very simple trick, but incredibly powerful. Oh, and by the way, that works exactly the same if you want to do a day to night shoot. So you shoot your model outside, you light it with strobes, let's say on f11 ISO 100. If you lower the shutter speed, you will get more ambient light from the back. If you raise the shutter speed, it looks like it will be a day to night shot if you do it more than enough. Okay, have to set up, and then we're going to do the live stream for Digital Classroom. Okay, and that was our Digital Classroom episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't see Digital Classroom live, remember, we are storing them on YouTube, so you can always watch them back. I'm now actually scanning some old negatives. I really like film photography, although the quality of this one isn't really that good. Okay guys, that was it. I'm now going home after scanning and then editing the vlog for you guys and uploading it, of course. If you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, and of course smash that like button. But most of all, tell other people about our channel so we can grow it. See you again next time, which probably will be on Friday for the workshop and of course on Saturday for the workshop. After that, it's gonna be 2 weeks, which are a little bit more quiet because between Christmas and New Year's, I'm gonna take a little time off. So, thank you so very much for watching, guys, and see you again next time. Bye bye.